welcome to my channel. I hope that you are having a great day. I have a project share for ASC Craft Supplies. I will leave links to their online stores in the description box below. And if you use my coupon code Michelle10, you can receive 10% off any regular price purchase, and any order $75 or more ships free. And what I have created is a trifold card in this box, and I used the Mint-A Country Charm paper collection, and I used my scraps from the chipboard mini album I shared with you yesterday. And this time I chose to use more of the florals in the paper, and I guess it would be the back side of the scenes. And this was a great way to use up some of my scraps. So I have my box here, and I left it fairly simple, but I did put this pearl trim just to frame it around, and I did use some pearls on the inside just to kind of coordinate with that. And like I said, this is my favorite page. One side's the floral and the other side is the like robin's egg blue plaid. So I wish that it would have been not like that. I hate when my two favorite pieces are on the same double-sided paper. And then on the side I use this beautiful wood, like a door paper, and it just opens like this, slides right off. And then this is the front of my card, and I use my Julia Nutty dolls, and I have so much fun with them. I need to get them out with and use those more. And I'll just go ahead and finish the inside of the box. I use this beautiful, the floral paper again, and then this is what's on the back of it, is this beautiful robin egg blue plaid, or buffalo check rather, but I think it is so pretty. And then this really pretty robin egg blue cardstock that I had. So I'll just set those to the side, and I used a chipboard from the paper that has farm charm, and I took some lace and just went along the edges of that. And these are some flowers in my stash. I do believe there's some old Prima flowers I have. And then I did use the 6x6 paper pad to piece her shirt and bow. And this little tiny mini sweetheart blossom is from ASC as well. And I fussy cut this part right here and pop dotted it from one of the scraps. And I did the same here. I just cut this little part of the scene out from the scraps, and I thought it looked perfect. She looks like she's resting on the vegetable crate. And I love how they've incorporated the florals in the paper collection. And then it just opens up like so. And you have the lady here, so we'll say the mom, the daughter, and the son. And so she's here in the middle. And I fussy cut one of the ephemera pieces that comes in the paper collection and just cut it in half and put it at the top and the bottom. And then I took some of the wood paper and just matted it on the inside, and then ran some lace along it. I've got some more of the pearls, and I thought I would cut out this watering can so it looks like she's watering the flowers. And over here we have the little boy, and he's in his tire swing. So I have him popped up really well, and he's hanging, you know, there by the wagon wheel. And then down here, I fussy cut this piece out and then layered some of the same flowers underneath of it just to make it stand out. So I was really happy with how this project came out. And then on the back, I just went ahead and put the decorative panels on the back because I'm not sure where the recipient will display it, and that way it'll have a finished piece. And once again, I was just able to use up so many of the scraps after making the little chipboard album. But I do love how this trifold card came out, and I was inspired by my friend Gail. She had made me a trifold card for my birthday. I thought I would put my spin on one. So make sure to stay tuned. I do have a short tutorial where I give you the measurements and the directions on how to make the box. So I hope you give it a try, and if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I have all of my contact information in the description box below, or you could leave it in the comments section. I have two pieces for the base of the trifold card, and the first one is 9 by 8.5, and we are going to score at 4 1/4 and at 8.5. So these two pieces I'm going to set aside, and then we'll score our box pieces. And I will have all of the measurements in the description box below, and I would follow those just in case for some reason I would say the wrong number. So go by the ones in the description box. And the second piece of paper I have here is 7 by 11 1/4, and this is the top, and we are going to score at 1 1/4 all the way around on all 4 sides. We're here, and I'm just going to turn it. I get a nice, you know, get it, push it in the corner that way. It just is easier. I don't have to think too much if I just turn the paper. So 11 1/4 on all 4 sides. This is the bottom portion. I'm sorry, the bottom is 7 by 11 1/4, and the top is 7 1/8 by 11 3/8. I wrote it down wrong. So the bigger one is always going to be your lid. So we're going to score at 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. Okay, so those are all scored now. Just going to put my scoreboard to the side here. And I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer to cut the window on the front of our box. We're going to use the one that is larger. I'm sorry I messed up earlier. So it's 7 1/8 by 11 3/8. What I did is I have a 1/2 inch edge all the way around. So I took this score line that we have made on all 4 sides, and I'm lining it up with my 1/2 inch mark, which is right here. So see, the 1/2 inch is right there and it goes all the way down. So I'm just lining that score mark up with it on my trimmer. So it's right there, the 1/2 inch. And then what you do here is, my trimmer has, I'm trying to find a white piece of paper to put under this. My trimmer has the measurements, so I'm just going to stick that under there so I can see it. And I'm going to go up to, let's see, so the 1 1/4 is our score line, and we want to add a 1/2 inch for our border, so that would be 1 3/4. So I'm going to take my cutting blade and I'm going to go to 1 3/4, and then I'm going to come down. Let me bring this white so we can see. And this is 11, and we want to come up, or it's 11 3/8. So we want to come down. So our score mark is at, let's see, our score mark is at 10 1/8. So we want to come up a 1/2 inch, and that would be 1 2 3. That would be going down to 9 5/8. I do believe. Okay. A little bit of math. Had to count the little 1/8 marks. So on this one, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring my score line over to 1/2 inch, like so. And let's put the white back up there because that does make it so much easier. And I'm going to start where this score line is. I'm just going to go like that. And then, so this is 1 1/4, so I want to go up to 1 3/4 again, like so, like that. There you can see there's the 2, and I'm up to 1 3/4. And then I'm going to turn this, and we will go over to a 1/2 inch. The score mark is a 1/2 inch, and then I guess the edge of it is at 1 3/4. Oh, whoops, turn around the wrong way. Let's try that again. So we're bringing it over. The outside edge is at 1 3/4, or your score mark is at 1/2 inch. So down here, I'm just going to cheat a little bit since we already figured out where this is. I'm going to go ahead and cut at the bottom, right there, and then we'll come up to our 1 3/4 at the top. And we'll open this up, and now all we have to do is, we'll just double check it. It's 1 3/4. Score line's at 1/2 inch. And we'll start at 1 3/4. I do believe 1 3/4. And then I'm just going to come down to our line here. And we can always take scissors. Oh, it did come out. Sometimes I may miss the corner a little bit, and I will just take my scissors and just snip it. So we have that. That is the window. Now that we have the window cut out, we will also need a piece of acetate that measures 4 by 8 1/4, and it's what we will put here on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and wait and put our box together before I put this in, since I will be using wet glue. I don't want to get glue on this. I'm going to set this to the side, try not to lose it. And we will take our box pieces, and we'll cut the corners, we'll notch the corners. So we're just going to cut on the score line up into where it intersects, and then I'm going to take a notch out. And we're going to come to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut on the score line and then cut a notch. And I'm going to do the same thing to the rest of the corners. And I like all of my notches to be in the same direction. That's just my personal preference. So it will look like this. Let's get this over so you can see. You can see the notches and where I cut up to the score line. And I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. I'm just going to burnish all of my score lines. Make sure I get my texture on the outside. Have all of my score lines burnished, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue and glue the tabs. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tabs on the inside just to make it a little easier, like so. And just hold this, and I'm going to put glue on the tab. And art glitter glue does dry clear. We'll go ahead and glue 2 of them at the same time. And I'm lining the edge, lining this side edge along with the top edge to make a nice corner. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay. And I'm going to take the bone folder and just run over those tabs. And do not worry if your glue seeps out. It dries clear. And it's just a tiny little bit. That way your edges are nice and sealed. And I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And now I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom of the box. And our acetate piece, I think I said the wrong measurement. It's 4.5 by 8 3/4. So I'm going to just take off our edges, or our score tape cover here. And we'll bring our box back in, the lid, and I'm just going to put that in. So I have my strips that are 2 that are 1/2 inch by 4.5, and 2 that are 1/2 inch by 8 3/4. And what I'm going to do on the long pieces is I want to miter them. So I'm just going to line this up here in my grid at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to put a little mark right there. And what I want to do is go from this corner to the little mark, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Draw my little 1/2 inch mark, and then on this side I'll have to go, for me to hold it, I'm going from the pencil mark up to the corner, and that just gives us a nice little finished mitered look. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we'll pencil mark at 1/2 inch, and from the corner up to the pencil mark. So the pencil mark's still there, I'm just barely going to it. And the same thing here, we'll do it one more time. and the pencil mark here. And like I said on this one, for me to hold it, and then I'll trim that one just a little bit. Whoops, can't get a hold of it. It's just a tiny little bit. There we go. Now what we will do is we'll go ahead, and I'm going to do a dry fit. I'm going to lay these in, and they fit nicely on the inside, and it just gives it a nice finished look. I'll hold it like that and make sure they don't show. They don't. And then we'll put these in here like so, and then it just gives us a nice little mitered look. And we'll just go ahead and dry fit this one and put it in like so. And you will do the same thing for the top of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these in. I'm going to glue the top and bottom pieces in first, the short pieces in first. And I'm making sure I put, see how our miters are going? We want that on this side. And line those up. And there we go. So you would just do the same thing to the front. I have just written down what size of the decorative pieces that you will need for your box. And I just decorated on the top of the box. I just decorated the outside of the box, so the sides, top, bottom, and of course the front. And the two pieces you'll need for the frame are 1/2 inch by 4.5 inch, and they'll just go along here and here. And for the sides are 1/2 inch by 8 3/4, and those are the ones that I mitered, but you do not have to do that. Then for the top and bottom on the outside is 1 1/8 by 4.5. And the two side pieces are 1 1/8 by 8 3/4, and those are the decorative pieces. So you can see here, I just covered the outside portion. And then for the bottom of the box, the large piece here is 4 3/8 by 8 5/8, and the top and bottom pieces are 1 1/8 by 4 3/8, and the two inside side pieces are 1 1/8 by 8 5/8. So that's all of the measurements for the box, and it does close very nice. So now I've brought in the trifold card pieces. So this is the one that was 9 by 8.5, and we scored at 4 1/4 and 8.5. And this piece is 4 1/4 by 8.5, and we're just going to attach it right here. So I do like to miter the corners just a little bit, so I'm cutting right up to that score line. Make sure not to cut into the score line, and just a little bit there, and that will help it line up. So I'm going to go ahead and just get a hold of the score tape, and I'm just going to pull this up just a little bit like that, and I'm going to line it up along the top and right up against the scored line. So I'm lining right up to it. I'm just going to go ahead and hold that down, and then I'm going to hold like this and make sure, whoops, it did move on me just a little bit, so just go like there, it's lined up. Okay, and I had it fold the first one, so that's the front, and now we have the back. And I'm going to put a little pencil mark right here because I have a little tiny bit to trim off. Instead of making that piece shorter, I would just rather trim it off. So I'm just going to bring it in, and like I said, it is just, it's not even, I don't think it's probably a 1/16 of an inch. So just a tiny little bit. And now when we fold it, it is perfect. I'll show you here. So this decorative piece here that go here, the insets, they are 4 inches wide by 8 1/4 inches tall. And so I have all of those along the front, and then I did the same on the back. But the back you probably wouldn't have to decorate. I'm just not sure where the recipient would sit this, and I wanted the back to be decorated, and it also makes it really, really sturdy. that is my short tutorial. I just wanted to go over the measurements, and I will put all of the measurements in the description box, so you might want to follow those. I will try to catch if I made any boo-boos. So check the description box. All of the measurements will be there. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. So make sure to visit ASC Craft Supplies and use my coupon code Michelle10 for 10% off, and any order $75 or more ships free. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.